And
If they violate our
therefore,
community standards, we would remove them.
yes, thank you. And therefore, it's fair to say that the platform has a duty to prevent the spread of such posts because they can cause harm. Would that also be correct?
Mr. Congressman, we have a duty to act on content that violates our community standards, and in some cases, specifically if it violates local law.
No, Doctor, my point is that you have a duty to prevent the spread of such posts because they can cause harm. That's the gist of my question.
We have a duty to remove posts that we're aware of that violate our community standards, yes.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, could I say that you recognize that Meta bears some responsibility for what is shared and posted on Facebook or Instagram?
Mr. Chairman, if I may. Sir, every individual user bears the ultimate responsibility for what he or she posts on our platforms. I think that it's important to underline that
That's
point.
a given.
That's a given, okay.
Now,
Right.
what
That's
I'm
all.
asking is whether Meta bears some responsibility for what is shared and posted on Facebook and Instagram. That's my question.
Yeah, so what I would say is we absolutely...
Do you?
Yeah, sir, if I may. We very much believe that we have a responsibility to provide a safe platform for our users around the world, including in Philippines.
That's your obligation. But my question is, would you bear some responsibility for what is shared and posted in your platforms? Yes or no? It's a very simple question.
Sir, I just want to be really clear about this again, okay? Our responsibility is to make sure that we are doing the best we can to balance between voice and safety. Okay, and the ultimate responsibility, for the people, for the content posted, is the people that post it.
I think the doctor is evading the answer to my question. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry will say that it's answerable by yes or no.
Mr. Congressman, the ultimate responsibility lies with the user who posts the content.
But what I'm asking is if Meta bears some responsibility. I'm not asking whether you are the primordial entity to be responsible. No, I'm not asking that. My question is whether you bear some responsibility.
Mr. Congressman, if I may, I believe I've answered the question that I think the user bears the responsibility for what they post on our platform. Now, we have a set of community standards that we do our best to uphold because we want everyone to have a positive experience on our platforms and a safe experience on our platforms. And that's what our community standards are for. That's what our fact-checking programs are for. That's why we take these hearings very seriously. That's why we have the 11 different relationships with the government agencies in the Philippines so that harmful content can be reported to us. And I think that's how we do our best, like I said, to ensure that people have a voice and the freedom of expression while also a safe experience. But as I said, I think the ultimate responsibility for content lies with the user that's posted it.
Mr. Chair, the questions I would be asking would depend on the answer of Dr. Frankel insofar as whether Meta bears some responsibility, and therefore, since he has said that he cannot answer me directly, I will not ask the other questions. But may I make a manifestation, Mr. Chair? It seems from our discussion that social media platforms are making some effort to curb the spread of fake news in this country. However, I disagree with the impression that acting merely as host of user-generated content exempts these platforms from any liability for the harmful content they allow to be exhibited. As part of our legislative duties, I think it may be time to revisit the current legal framework regarding these social media platforms, if only to incentivize them to further crack down on these types of illegal posts. Now, may I go to another issue, Mr. Chair? Yes, Mr. Chair. Regarding monetization. Doctor, can you confirm whether Facebook or Instagram allows content creators in the Philippines to earn revenue directly through the platform? Yes or no?
The Congressman, I believe the answer is yes, but I want to make sure to check on that. I believe we have content creators that can monetize on our platform in the Philippines, yes.
Thank you. And would this mean that Facebook directly pays users upon fulfillment of certain requirements and upon reaching specific targets? Would that be correct also?
I'm not familiar exactly with the modality of payment, but again, I believe, yes, we do provide content creators with the ability to monetize here.
Thank you. And what are the means of earning through the meta platforms, Facebook and Instagram?
I'm sorry, sir, what?
What are the means of earning through the meta platforms, Facebook and Instagram?
There's different ways. You can monetize your content using something we call stars. There's ways that we can have partnerships. I think there's 2 or 3 different ways that creators can monetize.
Thank you. And are there specific content guidelines that monetized accounts must follow?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Or are these enforced in our country or in the Philippines?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So there are content guidelines.
Creators, like anyone else, must abide by our community standards.
Now, is there a process also for demonetizing content that is later found to be false, misleading, harmful, or otherwise violative of the community guidelines?
Any user that is monetizing on our platform can be demonetized if they have repeated violations of our community standards, including repeated violations of misinformation. Yeah.
Now, can you describe to this committee the revenue sharing model? How much of the ad revenue goes to Facebook, and how much goes to the content creator?
Sir, I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'm happy to provide that if we can take that under question to come back to the committee.
And who would be the proper authority from your group to answer that question?
We can come back to you on that. There's a few questions I think that we're going to put together as part of the follow-up to this, and we can happily add that as one of them.
Thank you. Now, my last question. How does Facebook ensure that creators don't exploit the algorithm by posting inflammatory or misleading content just to gain more views and earnings?
Mr. Chairman, again, if I may, as you pointed out, sir, we have policies that will demonetize pages if they engage in repeated violations of our community standards or if they engage in repeated instances of misinformation.
For curiosity's sake, can you provide data available on how much content creators in the Philippines have earned through Facebook's monetization programs over the past years?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I do not have that data.
And who would have that?
Again, we can take that question under advisement and see if we can come back with something, but that may also be subject to privacy, and so I would have to see what the exact question is and see if we can come back to you on that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pakipatay.
Thank you. For a last manifestation, you're given 5 minutes, Honorable Abante.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. I really would like to ask some questions, but I'm not going to ask any questions anymore. But as I listen to your explanation, I begin to realize, and I don't understand what Meta actually is. All right? I have to admit I'm ignorant of what you're trying to do. But I would think, Mr. Chair, that Meta is a self-regulatory agency because you have community standards. Content and accounts that violate our community standards, including harmful misinformation, and you remove it. And you're not telling us that you have, in a way, a responsibility to do it. You have, because you are a self-regulatory agency of your company, of Facebook. Now, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask if Meta could be able to provide us a data of whatever your community standards are, because we don't even know. We'd like you to give us a data of what you mean by harmful this misinformation. I'm not going to ask this question anymore because I know you're going to answer us with a lengthy statement, but just give us a data. What do you mean? Guidelines. What do you mean by community standards? What do you mean by harmful misinformations? Just give us the guidelines for that. Can you do that, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chairman, if I may. Congressman, our community standards are publicly published and available in
Mr. Chair, I'm asking that you give us the data. Not being able to see it on public. We would like to ask you to give us the data.
Anyway,
Give us the guidelines for your community standards.
there are many requests as per interpellation from the different congressmen. So we will incorporate all these requests, requesting data.
Thank you.
Including your
Guidelines.
request regarding the community's standard guidelines. There was a request also from Arlene Brosas. So we will incorporate this on our official communication, and hopefully you'll also to give us a feedback.
Just one thing, Mr. Chair. Comparing the Philippines to different countries, do we have more misinformation here and violation of community standards? Do we have more of that than any country in the world? Do we have more?
Mr. Chairman, if I may. Congressman, I think that I would have to go back and look at the statistics, but we publish our transparency report on community standards enforcement every 6 months. And our fact checks, again, are also very transparent. That information is publicly available, as is our community standards. All the information that you've just requested is publicly available information. So, Rob,
Thank
do
you.
you want to add
Thank you.
anything?
You're asking, with your indulgence, Mr. Chairman, you're asking, obviously, Congressman Abante, a very important set of questions. The first thing I would say is just to reiterate, our community standards are readily available online. Number two, they're iterative. So in our consultations with your government and many others, they're revised with a lot of regularity. A lot of what we do is self-regulation, to be fair. But here in the Philippines, sir, if I may, we not only consulted with, we agreed to lots of legislation that has placed on us turnaround time burdens when it comes to certain types of harmful content, data disclosure burdens, not burdens, but obligations that we've agreed to, and we're beating turnaround times. We are largely compliant with data requests. I would hope, and I wouldn't dare speak for the law enforcement community here, but I would hope that they would agree that we are amongst, if not the most forward-leaning when it comes to protecting our Filipino community of users. And I absolutely think I understand that we're in the middle of an election cycle. Things are heated here at the moment, but that does not distract me or my team from our constant, everyday work in battling off-platform harm for our users. And not everything we do is self-regulating. We do a lot to follow local law. And reasonable people like myself in your good office, we're going to have disagreements along the way. I think the point is to keep these dialogues open. So with that, I do want to genuinely thank Congress for allowing us to be here today. Marimang salamat po.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I would just emphasize, Mr. Chairman, we heard a lot of questions today, and very good questions, very fair questions. I hope that the answers we provided in the presentation were educational, informational, and I hope that we demonstrated, as Rob just pointed out, the very strong collaboration we've had with many different parts of the government, different administrations, Congress, on developing regulation and laws, implementing them, living up to our legal obligations here in Philippines, and again, being a platform that is a positive social net good for Philippines, because it helps people build their businesses. It helps the economy grow. It helps people connect to their loved ones for free. It helps people learn about the world and gain new skills. And of course, with the election coming, we're absolutely determined to protect the integrity of the election on our platforms. And I hope that we can have more of these conversations. Congressman, we're very happy to sit down and collaborate on additional regulation if you feel it's necessary. There's a number of different examples of how we've worked with Congress over the years. Most recently, for example, on the Internet Transactions Act. There's also the digital VAT. I mean, these are just two very recent examples of collaborations we've had on law and regulation here in the Philippines with Congress and with the administration, and absolutely happy to continue that. And I do hope, as Rob said, that our responsiveness to the government and Filipino community's concerns has come out clearly today, and we remain very determined to be a great partner to the people, businesses, and the government of Philippines in the future. And thank you so much for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman, to present this today and to speak to the committee and the people of the Philippines.
Mr. Chair, thank you for your statement, Dr. Frankel and Mr. Abrams. This is the very reason why we have this hearing, so we could be able to craft laws about what is happening right now. I'm so glad you said that you be compliant to every legal thing we have in this country. And thank you very much for that. And Mr. Chair, I'd like to assure Dr. Frankel that Mr. Abrams that we will, in my own capacity, talk to you about many of these things. Thank you very much.
Actually, we still have many questions to Meta, but unfortunately, because of time constraints, we cannot do so. So in behalf of the committee, Dr. Frankel, Mr. Abrams, would like to thank you for attending the hearing. You are now excused. It's already 1 p.m. You go direct to the airport. You might miss your flight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you,
Salamat
committee.
po.
The chair acknowledges the presence of Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Dong Gonzales, Honorable Ernesto Junicio Jr., and present online, Honorable Arjo Ataide, Honorable Jonathan Flores.
Ano muna dito? Padaanin mo dito.
We have 5 issues to be discussed in today's hearing. 1, social media platforms. 2, celebrities. 3, testimony from Commodore Tariela. 4, testimonies from social media influencers. And the last one is testimonies from government agencies. So for celebrities, may I understand Kabayan Noli De Castro is present, so may I request the COMSEC to invite Mr. Noli De Castro. COMSEC, pwedeng maimbita natin si Mr. Noli De Castro so that we will have an orderly hearing and a smooth flow of discussion. We will tackle the issues as mentioned earlier by the chair one by one. COMSEC, I understand, I was informed earlier that Mr. Noli De Castro is in the holding room.
Yes, sir. This one is way.
Okay. Can we invite them? Comsec, paki-escort lang sa upuan si Mr. Noli De Castro. Thank you, Kabayan Noli, for attending the hearing. We will give you an opportunity if you would like to make an opening statement.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chairman, and mga membro ng committee at ang ating mga invited guest. Kanina po nanonood ako doon sa loob ng hearing ho ninyo at sinusuportahan ko po itong initiative ninyo na labanan ng mga fake news. Kasama ho kami dyan. Yung mga misinformation at saka disinformation. Kasama na rito po ang deepfake. Naging biktima rin ho ako niyan. Marami sa aming mga broadcaster. Bunso din po ng Gen AI at ang iba pa mga advanced technology po ngayon. Hindi natin mapipigilan ho yan. Kanina, I'm sorry, hindi ninyo napag-usapan sa Meta yung advance ng technology. Kasi hindi ho talaga mapipigilan. Yung pinsala na dulot nito ay hindi lamang po sa aming mga personalidad and even to you, Congressman, kundi pa sa pangkalatan sa publiko na nakababasa, nakakita at nakakapanood po nito. Kailangan ng sabayang pagkilos para sa education ng publiko at sa aming media practitioners para mamulato ang mas nakararami tungkol sa masamang epekto ng fake news sa ating bansa at sa demokrasya. Kami ho sa media ay alam ko malaki rin ang responsibility sapagkat mas mabilis kaming ma-check ang mga fake news. At the same time, ma-check kaagad namin ang fake news. Although sana po ay naka-ready din ang mga government agencies na sagutin yung mga lumalabas na fake news, especially sa mga congressman din po. Thank you. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Noli De Castro. As per our House rules po, all resource persons will have to take their oath. So, can you please rise? Comsec, please administer the oath. Comsec, please administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this inquiry? Please reply.
Before we proceed with
Thank you,
interpellation,
Mr.
the Chair acknowledges Honorable Geraldine Roman. The first to interpellate, Representative Kunghon. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang hapon po, former Vice President Noli De Castro.
Good afternoon po.
Gaya nga po ng sabi ng ating chairman, ni Kong Johnny Pimentel, ang peking balita ay walang sinasanto. Lahat nabibiktima, lahat pwedeng maapektuhan. At bilang public personalities, isa sa madalas na nagiging biktima ng fake news ay ating mga local celebrities at sikat na media personnel. Mula sa peking iskandalo hanggang sa maling impormasyon, lagi silang nadadamay ng di makatarungang paghuhusga. Dahil dito, may inimbita tayong mga ilang sikat na media personality para magpahayag ng kanilang karanasan bilang nabibiktima ng fake news. Mr. Vice President, I think it's fair to say na madalas po kayong nagiging subject ng fake news. Tama po ba?
Opo.
At dahil din po dito, nagkaroon po kayo ng pampublikong hinaing regarding sa mga fake news. Lalong-lalo na nung nakaraang linggo. Tama po ba?
Opo, opo.
At base sa preliminary research na isinagawa po natin, isa sa mga pekeng balita na kumakalat tungkol sa iyo ay ang nausong quote card na pagkatapos na pagka-aresto ng dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte, kung saan sinabi mo daw na the former President Rodrigo Duterte, Tatay Digong, did not start the war to kill. He started, nasa ano po yan, meron po tayong, pwede po bang pakilabas? Yan po ba? Tama po ba, ito yung isa sa mga code card na bigay po sa inyong kaalaman na peke na sinabi niyo raw po ba? Sinabi niyo raw po, tama po ba?
Medyo hindi ata ho masyadong malinaw ho ito, Mr. Chairman, tungkol dito.
Ang nakalagay po doon, sir, is former President Rodrigo Duterte did not start the war to kill.
Okay.
He started to save lives. He gave drug addicts a chance to change, to surrender, to choose a better life. But many refused. They kept using, kept selling, kept killing innocent people. So what a leader should do, let criminals destroy families or take actions to stop them. One addict lost is tragic, but thousands of innocent lives saved, that is justice. Duterte made the streets safe. Yan po yung mga nakalagay sa quote card na na-attribute po sa inyo.
Opo. Pero hindi ho lahat totoo eh. Kaya kami ho, fortunately, kami sa media, sa mga broadcaster, nakokorek kaagad ho namin on the air. On the air. Once na lumabas yung fake news, nakokorek kaagad namin. In my case, meron po akong IG na ginagawang ko kaagad doon ng word na malaki na in bold letter na fake. Tapos nakikiusap po ako sa aking mga kaibigan na may Facebook din, may IG, another form na ipakalat naman nila na yung lumabas na ba na news item ay fake. Yun ang mga ginagawa ko para mabilis na nakakakalat yung information na that item ay fake.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Mr. Vice President, nakikita niyo po ba yung nakalagay sa screen natin ngayon?
Opo.
Ito po ay galing kay ito po ay pinost, no? Ni JM, di ko alam kung paano i-pronounce itong Almine o Almine o Almine. Ayan, JM Almine. Nakalagay po dito, sabi niyo raw po na di ko binoto si PRRD dahil gustong-gusto ko talaga si VP Penny.
Aha.
Familiar po ba kayo sa napabalita ang sinabi niyo daw po?
Opo. Alam ko ho, fake ito. Kaya gumawa kaagad ho ako ng version ko at nilagyan ko ng in bold letter na fake.
Mr. Vice President, kilala niyo po ba si JM Almine?
Hindi po. Hindi ko po siya kilala.
Sinubukan niyo po bang kilalanin kung sino yung nag-post nito?
Hindi na po dahil baka mamaya hindi tunay na tao ito eh. Uso ho ngayon yun.
Ano po ang naging reaksyon niyo nung nakita niyo yung post na ito?
Well, sanay na ho ako sa mga lumalabas na ganito eh. So ang first reaction ko ay gumawa ng paraan para may pakalat ko na fake nga ito. Lagyan ng bold letter na fake. Kuminsan no, ginagawa ko pa, naka-flash yung fake. At makiusap sa mga kakilala ko na may mga Facebook, IG at iba pa, na ipakalat din nila para marami po